Film Autopsy.
Oh,
there we go. Open hands. Good man. Good
oh man, what
This
is
one.
going on? It's your boy Fat Samurai Guy back again, sitting in the movie dojo, son, for another episode of Action Film Autopsy, hanging out with Kung Fu Santa himself, Sifu Santa, Rick Myers. Rick, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. How are you? Oh, we know how you are. How are you?
I'm doing good too. For those of you that were curious why there were no uploads or streams on Friday, well, because Samurai Guy had jury duty. Yes, but I got yeah, but I got lucky. I got out of it. So I just walked to the front desk, Rick, and I said, the Movie Dojo Army is not having it. You're taking me away from the legends. I got stuff to do. They were like, okay, we'll just let you go. They were really nice about it too.
Well, I'm happy because I'm used to doing this on the last day of the month.
Yes.
And that way we can start and we'll do it at the end of May as well and all the
Yeah.
rest. So yeah, and also ask me again how I am. I remember the answer to that.
Rick, how are you?
I'm really good because I've seen a lot of really good and interesting movies this month.
All right. Yes, if you see Rick smiling, that means there's some good stuff to talk about. But before we get started, we got the roll call up in here. We have J.S. Brown. What's going on? Then greetings, everyone. We have Lady Danish. There you go. Show the fucking blood, Rick Myers. I love it. Mitchell in the house. What's going on? The sexy sumo. The kings are in. Let the fun begin. Oh, yeah. Brian Sanchez saying hello to Rick and everyone. Oh, yeah. And we have Kevin. That's right. Certified Badass channel member. Oh, yeah. We're starting the ruckus. We got the Batman here and some more other legends. Yes, but we have a lot to talk about.
And remember, hold on. You said Kung Fu Genius, Rick Myers. No, that's Alex Richter is the Kung Fu Genius.
Yes.
I'm the Kung Fu Santa.
There you go. Shout out to the Kung Fu Genius, Alex Richter. All right. But yeah, we have a plethora to discuss and talk about here. Let's go ahead and have some fun. Jump right into it here. Up foist. Rick, Super Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I believe at this point, Rick, help me out and correct me. The Super Mario Brothers movie, this is the most highly successful. It grossed the most money for a video game film. Is that correct?
I don't know if that's correct. I'm not going to put myself out there. I think so. I think it's correct.
That's what I'm hearing.
It's certainly one of the highest grossing animated movies of the year. The reason I'm wearing my Kung Fu Minions shirt is that this is, oh yes, there we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Those are my students. Those are my Minion students who I taught for the last movie, which was also produced by Illumination, as was Super Mario Brothers. And in fact, the person who got me involved in the Minions Rise of Group, producer Kelly Lake, was a producer on the Super Mario Brothers.
All right.
And it brings up a very important point, which is over the years, you know, you made a comment that is this the most successful video game movie? I'm almost certain that it is. And now you may ask yourself, why is that? Why is it that Super Mario Brothers is the most successful one? Have you ever asked us for years when we would go see Street Fighter, all the rest of them, and we'd see this
Double Dragon,
Mortal Kombat. You know, it was terrible crap.
Yep.
And they would never do well. And people would cry out. I would be around people. I wouldn't cry out, but other people would cry out, why is it doing it so badly? Why can't they make a good video game movie?
Yeah.
Well, we happen to be living in wonderful times because of all the streaming services struggling for survival. There's an enormous amount of production being made. I think I should have checked this today, but I didn't. I wanted to know whether we are making more movies and television shows today than we have in the history of television and movies.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But I doubt it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we were. But the point there is that, again, having worked out in Hollywood and all the rest of it, I know that basically it always breaks down to 60-40. 60% venal backstabbers, 40% geniuses.
Right.
And that is, and so the venal backstabbers will make crap because they're venal backstabbers. But
Yeah.
the geniuses make great movies because they're geniuses. And it's a 60-40 situation. I think that's even going to happen on this episode. You'll see that we'll be able to say, venal backstabber or a genius maker.
Yeah.
The reason why I was actually, when I was working out in Hollywood and we had this discussion, somebody said, well, I said, why did you make this terrible movie that's going to upset everyone who loves the product? In other words, let's say it's Mortal Kombat. Let's just say it's Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Why did you make this terrible Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter movie when all the people who love Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter are going to hate this? Well, we want to make a movie that goes beyond the core audience. We want other people to be able to enjoy it. So we felt the need to make changes. And my reply, and I know I replied this at least twice before they stopped talking to me, which was, who do you think is going to show up opening weekend? You think
Exactly.
all those people you're trying to reach outside of the core audience is going to show up? No. The core audience, the fans of Mortal Kombat, the fans of Street Fighter, they're going to show up. They're going to see this piece of crap, and they're going to go home and tell all their friends, do not under any circumstances go see this piece of shit. And also, I realized again that Hollywood is about ego; it's not about money. So these producers that just wanted to have power and crush people's dreams, but at the same time, they hated their audience because they hate themselves. These are self-loathing producers. They hate themselves, and they pass that on to the audience. That's another thing we had these discussions about. I was saying, who are you making this for? Well, we're making it for the audience. And my reply was always, name three people in your audience. Do you know anybody in your audience? Oh, no, but this is what the audience wants. And I'm going, no, this is what you want. And you project it onto an audience you don't even know. So now suddenly we have a bunch of people who knew this all along, but they're in a position of power now. They've come up through the industry. Kelly being one of them, the producer of this, and they said, all right, it's interesting when you look at another thing that you see, you can read a lot of reviews on the internet about these movies, and there are haters and there are lovers. But that's the way it works in the internet now. That's the way social media works. I don't care about haters or lovers. If somebody says, oh, we'll get to the new Mandalorian. The new Mandalorian sucks. This is the worst season ever. I don't even listen to them anymore because they're haters. And there's only one thing haters love. There's only one thing haters love, and that's hating. They love to hate. So no matter whether it's good or bad, they're going to hate it, and they'll find a way to hate it. The critics did that too. When critics who work for magazines and newspapers, and when magazines and newspapers started getting bought out by bigger corporations, the heads of these corporations had an axe to grind. So sometimes they instructed their critics, find a way to kill this movie, find a way to kill this television show. I don't like the guy who makes it. And so now we've got, everybody has a voice and they're all doing it. So I don't even listen to them. However, on the internet, people have said, if you love Super Mario and you have played it a lot, you'll love the movie. You'll recognize everything. You won't be able to count the number of Easter eggs.
Okay.
And other people put it down saying, oh, it's too much fan service. It's too much fan service. And it's kind of like my attitude about fan service is my attitude about being woke, that people who use being woke as an insult. Being woke is, as far as I'm concerned, not an insult. My attitude is, thank you. Yeah, I try to be nice to everybody. I'm Kung Fu Santa. And it's the same thing with, fan service. Again, who do you think is coming to these films?
Exactly, yeah.
The question is whether fan service itself good or bad, but how good or bad is your fan service? In the case of Super Mario Brothers, oh my God. Let me tell you something. I've heard complaints from people who don't play the game who said they couldn't follow the movie. I don't play the game. I can follow the movie. But more importantly, I felt love and respect in every frame, in every single shot of that movie. When that movie opened and they explained the accents by showing the commercial.
Yeah.
And it was like going, these guys are smart. I expected it, having worked with them. I knew these guys were smart.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, was it perfect? For me, no, it wasn't perfect. The thing that I wish they had done, and I understand why they didn't do it, because again, they're looking at the media, and also they're working with Nintendo. Nintendo had a lot of power on this movie. So what Nintendo said went. And the attitude seemed to be that this was for a younger audience.
Right.
Predominantly.
Mm-hmm.
So of course they're going to do the old cliche that Mario himself is not, he has to get stronger and stronger as the movie goes on. He doesn't start strong. However, they have that wonderful sequence at the beginning of the movie, still one of my favorites, where he has to run, they're going to their first major plumbing job.
Okay.
Try to make, because I thought they would start with them being successful plumbers, but no, they start with them being hapless plumbers. That's the other thing I wasn't wildly happy about, but I understood why they did that. But in order to get to their first job and their truck breaks down, Mario has to run across Brooklyn with Luigi coming behind him. And the way he goes through the actual, recognizable landscape of Brooklyn was delightful. It was so reminiscent of what he does in the video game.
Okay.
Very, very, very clever. And also he keeps, and just little things like he'll open up certain doors for Luigi, because Luigi's having a hard time keeping up, but Mario sets himself up beautifully. Then he has to struggle and struggle and struggle and get better and better. So as I'm watching, and again, it's not a long movie. So it's not like one of these Netflix movies that goes on for 2 hours and I get really tired. I'm going, come on, become Mario already. Would you become Mario finally?
Right.
Also, the way they kept touching on all the different aspects of all the different Mario games and all the musical cues and all the characters. And I mean, there are some sequences I defy anybody to count the number of Easter eggs. They're so But I can tell you how I felt.
Okay.
And a matter of fact, now just thinking back to how I felt when Mario becomes Mario.
Right.
In the second half of the movie.
Okay.
Chills.
All right.
Smile on my face. I'm going, I am loving this. I'm loving this. I'll even allow the fact that Jack Black, who's Kung Fu Panda, by the way, is playing the big
Koopa.
ball. And he gets to do two songs. I'm going, all right, you've got Jack Black. And if Jack Black wants to do it, let Jack Black do it. And they weren't songs. They were pop songs because they were Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah, we loved it. The Easter eggs. You had a few issues too, Gail, but that's understandable. But even with my issues, I felt something. Don't see any television shows or movies. I want to go like, yeah. And at the end of this movie, I'm going,
all right.
So yeah, it was a good movie because they had the love. The basically everybody who made this did Minions, they did Teen Titans, so they had a sensibility, but you could clearly see that they loved Mario, and Nintendo put everything in. And again, this is what happens when you do it right.
There you go. All right.
$1.
Nice. Really quick, Rick, before we go on to the next one. I remember a while back, I think you said you enjoyed Sonic.
Yes.
But I don't remember if you liked the second one. I don't remember because it's been a while.
It was just as the first one, but it wasn't terrible. It was still watchable. But it's no Mario Brothers.
Copy that. All right. This next piece, Samurai Guy is going to be reviewing this Wednesday, but I haven't seen it yet, but we can hear what Rick thought about it. Power Rangers reuniting once and always, I believe. Something like that. But I'll get around to watching it at some point so we can talk about it Wednesday.
Well, here we go.
All right, here we go.
Super Mario Brothers is not alone. I think the four things we're reviewing all have that magic rule. It's
Okay.
all loving fan service. And as such, they are successful. The Power Rangers had an interesting situation. Everybody who works on Power Rangers was involved with this. I mean, this is let's see, yeah, the guy who directed it is a New Zealand director, and the Power Rangers moved over to New Zealand. Pretty much 100% of the production of all the Power Rangers shows now
Okay.
is done in New Zealand, which is awesome. And they have a great sensibility there. So this is an homage to the OGs, and they wanted to have all the OGs in the movie, but unfortunately several passed away. So this movie became a tribute to them. It's dedicated to them at the end of the film. And they have a
Nice.
little background. And what you see there is terrific. You see them aging, you can see them gaining weight,
Yeah.
but still a lot of love. And also the gentleman in the blue, I really don't, he really looked like he has Bell's palsy. His face doesn't move. And
Right.
but whatever. They don't explain it.
Okay.
They all do a fine job, and they all do the best they can. Of course, the fighting. They also do something very clever with them, in that at one point in the movie, the leading characters can't be Power Rangers because that would alert their presence to the main villain, who's already shown himself to be very, very powerful and can destroy them. So they have to fight as themselves,
Okay.
and that was fun to see.
Interesting. All right.
Especially the Black Ranger there. He has a wonderful dance fighting sequence that I've
Oh,
been waiting for a long time.
all right. All right. They brought that back. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Little
I
breakdance fighting. All right.
I always wanted to have Last Dragon to be a musical, and to have Timac and everybody else at several points in the movie to fight to the music. I
I
wanted
can
him
see
to have
that.
a big fight.
Yeah.
That sequence where he comes out of the limo and the music of the night starts playing, the rhythm
Yeah.
of it, and I want him
Yeah.
to fight to that, and they don't do it in the movie.
Or you
And
got the glow, you know?
and it's an enjoy. It's not great. It's not interesting. Just like the previous Power Rangers movie,
Yeah.
where what's her name tried to, the one who directed Cocaine Bear. I'm
Yeah.
blanking on her name. She directed it. She stars as the villain. They tried to improve it and failed miserably.
Yeah.
Here, it's just like all the shows. It's an homage to the shows. So it's very nice. It's very loving. A lot of winking, a lot of Easter eggs. Not as good as Super Mario Brothers, but still an enjoyable 90 minutes.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, I am looking forward to watching it and reviewing it. So join us Wednesday, guys. Samurai Guy will be
Speaking
checking
of
it out.
fan service,
All right. All right. Nice. Nice. Next up, Picard. Yes.
speaking of
know,
fan service,
yes. I had the honor of being on Chris Mancini's podcast recently, guys. So check that out. I believe I put a link to the description box below, and we had fun. I have seen parts of Picard, the season 3. I've only seen the first season. I hated it, so I didn't go to the second season, which I hear I'm not missing anything. But Chris mentioned that he loves season 3. He loves it a lot. He's a fan of it.
3 is the cure for season 1 and 2.
Nice.
Paramount realized, and everybody involved in Picard realized, that season 1 and 2 was not working. It was time to do the ultimate fan service. It was time to bring the band back together again.
Nice.
So season 3 is a masterpiece compared to 1 and 2. And I didn't discover Star Trek Next Generation until the 3rd season, when all my friends said, yeah, they finally got the rhythm. That's often what happens with the Star Trek shows. They get the rhythm in every single show is 7 seasons, and they get the rhythm in the 3rd season. And so here we go. The 3rd season of Picard is just like, just being doused with Trekkie love, just stunningly, and they do it extremely well. What's the gentleman? Matt Mullins did the Matt Mullins did the action choreography, the fight coordination, and ironically, he also did it for the Orville. And the Orville is Seth
Oh
MacFarlane
wow.
that he created because the Star Trek shows weren't pleasing him any longer.
Right.
I'm pretty sure the third season of Picard is pleasing him.
Right.
Everybody gets a moment. They all come together at the end. It's just extremely well done by Trek lovers, not people who are trying to be better than Star Trek, because Star Trek at its best is absolutely awesome.
Yes.
Their ratios of success versus failures is far better, not far better, but at least better than Star Wars. Star Wars, has a minimum of really tremendous, exceptional movies, while Star Trek has a couple more really exceptional. And this whole third season of Picard should be put out as a movie.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Yeah. Nice. And I heard another thing Chris mentioned was, and you've seen it too. You can let me know what you think. Was that the fan service? It felt earned. It didn't feel like desperation fan service. Like member berries. Like, and it was like, oh wow, that's actually really good character development.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the word earned. I would use the word deserved. It's
deserved. All right.
It's deserved, and it comes up. And by the way, it also has. I love the action in it. Why did I love the action in it? Because every single character who we have come to know over these many, many years fight in character. There is absolutely no mistaking number one's fighting ability versus the Worf's ability versus everybody else. Everybody fights in character.
Nice.
That's what everybody should always do all the time.
All right. Copy that. Well, we're going to keep it sci-fi here. All right. Mandalorian season 3. Now that it's over, Rick, thoughts on the Mandalorian?
Well, I love the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian, as I think we've said on a previous episode, is Baby Cart plus Man with No Name.
Right.
A spaghetti Western. And as such, and of course, this season, third season again, is completely written by Jon Favreau. And in Favreau and Filoni, I trust. And unlike the haters who are saying, I don't get it, was this the worst one ever? I'm going, yeah, you guys get disappointed. That's fine. It was entertaining for me throughout. And my favorite thing in these last few episodes is they kept going back to faulty. This is what Filoni does. He goes back to faulty things in the previous Star Wars iterations and corrects them, makes them better.
Okay.
So they took one of my least favorite fight scenes from one of the prequel. What's the fight scene with? What's the prequel that had Liam Neeson in it as
episode 1? Yeah,
that was episode 1. Is that the one he also gets killed in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Episode 1, he has that fight with all those. I'm an old man with a long beard.
The droids?
No, not the droids. The walls that come down. The force fields. The force shields.
Okay.
That fight with the force shields, and in the Phantom Menace, the force fields didn't make any sense. They were just there as a gimmick.
Right.
Okay. So there's this wonderful sequence in The Mandalorian where the force shields are back, but here they make sense. They are used to build the excitement and to build the adventure and the action.
Okay.
And I love that. And of course, I loved I love the progress of Grogu as a fighter. He's in the robot, and he uses that until he can't use that anymore, and then he starts using. And also, I love the fact that the Mandalorian is martial arts. Grogu is kung fu. You'll notice in the final fight when Grogu gets involved, he isn't offensive. He takes things away. He doesn't attack. He avoids.
Okay.
And as such, so I'm like going, yay! And the ending is really cool and very, I really enjoyed. And I like and again, they explain all the stuff that didn't work in the prequels and in the latest sequel. I mean, I like The Last Jedi. Actually, the last movie of the last sequel, which was just The Rise of Skywalker, was just crap. But here they explain more things that sucked in that,
Okay.
and so
Interesting.
very enjoyable.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Well, that's as long as it's enjoyable. That's all
good
that
action, and
matters.
also Ryan Watson and Sam Loke did the action. And thank you guys for that wonderful update and the kung fu versus martial arts stuff.
Nice.
Neat.
Nice. All right. Now let's go. We're going to the fantasy land. We're going back to Never Never Land. Thoughts on the brand new Peter Pan and Wendy, Rick?
It's an interesting situation in that I have to say I admire its ambition.
Okay.
I was disappointed in its
Execution.
execution. Beautifully filmed, pretty well cast, except for now. Look again with Disney. It's real. There's somebody in the marketing department of Disney who wants to let us know what we're about to deal with. Again, if you look at the poster for the live action Mulan, you could see the leading actress was DOA. That she had no emotion.
Checked out. Yeah.
Even in posters, a good actor can communicate emotion to you.
Yeah.
Now, look at this poster. Tell me who the weak link is.
Pan.
Yeah. He's a young actor, more power to him, but absolutely no comparison with anybody else on screen. And also the action in the movie. David Lowery, who was the writer director of this, who had also done he had done The Green Knight and the remake of Pete's Dragon, which were better than this. And here again, it reminds me something of not, I can't really say, it's similar to Thor, Love and Thunder in that you could tell that it was a couple of movies being wedged together, but they never quite nailed the landing on any of the movies. Because it could have been called Peter Pan and Wendy. It also could have been called Peter Pan and Captain Hook. And they all have relationships. And they never quite, and they introduce a lot of very interesting ideas, but they never nail the landing on any of them. They're all interesting. They're interesting ideas, but they don't. Actually, she got closest at the very end of the movie, because throughout the movie they were saying you don't understand. You have to learn to understand her. And at the end, and so actually they also could have done another movie called Wendy and Tinkerbell, because they have a relationship that pays off pretty well.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a disappointing movie too. You can see
Copy
it
that.
could have worked. It wasn't as bad as Artemis Fowl, Lord knows, but
Right.
it wasn't as good as any other Peter Pan that Disney had.
Gotcha. Jude Law as Hook, was he wasted or did he do a good job?
No, he wasn't wasted, but he was shortchanged. Because again, the relationship with Wendy was shortchanged. The relationship with Tinkerbell was shortchanged. The relationship with Hook was shortchanged. And also the relationship that Hook had with the alligator, the ticking alligator, was shortchanged. The first sequence with the ticking alligator I loved. I thought it was great. And then doesn't pay off. And the sword fighting is very rude. They have a sequence on the boat, the climactic sequence on the floating ship, on Hook's floating ship, where all the Neverland kids come in and all the Indian kids come in, and they handle that very well too. But they have these wonderful Native American fighters and Asian fighters. And it could have been a magnificent sequence to show you how kids can with the right training and understanding, defeat pirates very effectively. But everything was shortchanged. Everything, all the edges were blunted. It was childproofed. This movie was childproofed.
Right.
You know, and it's kind of like Lowery wanted to do an adult movie, and Disney was going, no, don't do that. Don't do that. This is for kids. So it's not quite one or the other. It's good. It just could have been great if they had let Lowry make what he apparently wanted to make.
Gotcha. I still think Spielberg's Hook is underrated. I think that's an underrated movie. I enjoy that movie, but I think it's underrated.
Well, the question is, when did you see it? Did you see it when it premiered, or did you see it
when it came out in theater? Yeah.
Oh, you did see it when it came out.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I saw it when it came to the theater too, and I was not incredibly happy, but I wasn't sad.
Okay. Copy that.
It was certainly better than this.
I don't think it's trash.
No,
People
neither do
are
I.
saying it's Spielberg's worst movie. I'm like, really? But
Well,
this one
wait a
right
minute.
here.
Hold on.
Go
I
ahead.
stop you there.
Okay.
There are certain things you don't say to me. Number one is, I can't wait. You don't say I can't wait to me.
I can't
You
help
know
it.
what's going to happen. And you don't say literally unless it
Uh-huh.
actually is literally. And the other thing you don't see is you don't invoke people.
Uh-huh.
Because who the F are you talking about?
Mm.
You're saying people.
Yeah.
Who are these people? Do you
I
know
s-
any of their names?
I've seen a lot of reviews. I've
Yeah,
seen a lot of
that's
comments.
what I just said at the
Yeah.
beginning of the show.
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
seen a lot of reviews.
Right.
And they're equal now. There's
Yeah.
haters, there's lovers. And so the
Right.
haters said that it's his worst movie. And the fact that anyone would say it's Spielberg's worst movie means they're haters.
There you
Because
go.
Spielberg has not made a worst movie. He's made a movie that we have liked less than his
Right.
other movies, but that's our decision.
Yeah.
Every movie that he's made from his heart. I personally think my least favorite was that video game movie he made, which
Ready Player One. Yeah.
Ready Player One, which I thought was awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, even West Side Story. I mean, yeah. So don't listen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, don't listen to.
Well, this one, I will listen to this. I agree with Lady Danish here. I actually think this is underrated too. The one that came out in 2003 when Gabriel Byrne played Captain Hook. I thought that was a really good Peter Pan.
Yeah, and also I love the stage Peter Pan's. Peter Pan's a great story.
Yeah, yeah.
This could have been great if they let it be what it seems to have been trying to be.
Gotcha. All right, let's go to some
Great.
spy.
Right.
Let's go to some spy action comedy here with Ghosted. Oh, I gotta show the face. Oh boy.
I heard from one of your guys, one of your army, who was saying, oh yeah, when I put in my when I put it up, when I was advertising this on Facebook, he came in and said, I saw it and I liked it, and I don't think it deserved all the bad reviews it got. What did you think, Rick? And I went, I liked it too, and I thought it deserved all the bad reviews it got. It is.
So this is like good bad.
It's a Netflix movie. So again, it's way too long. The first 40 minutes should have been 10.
Yeah.
And I think its fatal flaw is that Chris Evans was miscast.
Oh, okay.
There's no way he should be playing the character he's playing. He's playing an incompetent nerd jerk. A nice guy. It turns out well for him at the end. Ana de Armas, however, is just incredible. She's so powerful. Again, the fact the Bond guys didn't grab her and make a series with her. Now she's doing the John Wick spinoff, The Ballerina, and she is so incredibly watchable. And usually, with me, when I see a woman of her size taking on a gun that would normally throw her across the room and into the wall, she sells it. She did that in No Time to Die as well. She was, to my mind, remarkably convincing, and she was also convincing here. But the movie conspires against her. It wants to be a comedy romance, and it shouldn't be a comedy romance. It should be a humorous action movie. But again, by the time she's playing it real and nobody else is. They want it to be fun.
Okay.
But it started wearing me down. Because it was just too stupid. It was too self-conscious. Yeah, this was exactly the kind of movie where you hear that everybody had fun making it. Usually when I hear that people are we had a ball making this, it comes out the way it does. They're having a great time, but we don't get to share it. The audience doesn't get to share the great time. It's great that you're having a great time, guys. And I would rather you have a great time than a terrible time. But this is very similar to what was that Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Wonder Woman Netflix
Red
movie.
Notice?
Yeah, this is very similar. In that
yay.
It's lightheaded.
Okay.
She's trying to play it real.
Yeah.
Everybody else is sabotaging her.
Okay. We'll keep moving along there.
It's done by Dexter Fletcher, who made Rocket Man.
Okay.
And the Felix Betancourt did the action. But it turns out that Felix Betancourt is the Netflix action guy. He also did the action for Day Shift, that vampire movie, and for The Gray Man, one of my least favorites. And also he's doing the action for Shadow and Bone. So apparently he's Netflix's go-to guy when it comes to action.
Okay. Copy that. Well, he doesn't have anything to do with the scripts.
No. The action is fine.
Okay.
But it's sort of empty-headed. It's lightheaded action.
Gotcha.
But it sets up our next two. It sets up our next 2 or 3 because we're coming to the next phase. We've entered the next phase of the show.
Yeah.
First phase of the show is the fan service phase. Now we're getting into secret agent world, or let's call it spy world.
Okay.
Spy world. I knew we were in trouble when, you know me, I'm getting tired of zombies, getting tired of assassins.
Bad assassins.
And good assassins.
Yeah.
What I call them is bad assassins. Bad assassins.
Yes.
Yeah, so now when the Bollywood introduced their spy universe, I think Hollywood sort of went, those aren't assassins. Those aren't zombies. Let's do that too. So now, apparently, I'm not going to say people. I'm going to say everybody. That's also a wild exaggeration. But just this month, we're about to do what? 3 or 4 spy things. Ghosted was the first. Tell us what's next. Tell me what's next.
Citadel.
Citadel.
Amazon original. This is a series, right?
This is a series. Did you, did you enjoy the Lord of the Rings series they did?
I did not even watch it after after you told me about it. I lost interest. I didn't watch it.
Sadly,
okay.
Amazon. I love Amazon. I use Amazon all the time. I'm an Amazon Prime member. I'm
Me
an
too.
Amazon Prime card. So I wish Amazon Prime Video did better work. I wish Amazon Prime Video lived up to Amazon Prime. Because now with Citadel, we found out that the soft Lord of the Rings series was not a fluke. This is what they do.
Oh,
they
no.
Get a big idea
and
just dump money on it. And unfortunately, they get this guy. They don't seem to check whether any of these people work together. They don't seem to check whether they all work as a group. And they just sort of say, and it's my least favorite kind of pop culture film, which is, well, what should we do? Should we do a James Bond movie? Should we do a Mission Impossible movie? Should we do a Bourne movie? Should we do whatever? Fuck, let's do them all. And let's be really obvious about it. Let's tell the audience that, hey, isn't this great? We're doing fan service for you spy lovers. Aren't we great? Yeah. See, that's the difference between good fan service and bad fan service. Here they're talking what Mario Brothers, Power Rangers, Picard, and Mandalorian did was talk up to us or talk on a level to us. Here they're talking down. They're talking down a lot. And worse, just again, great stars. Same thing with Ghosted. The stars are terrific. Oh, yeah. Let me talk to Frank. If Frank's watching, Frank thought that Robert Madden there was going to be the next James Bond because there was a video that showed up online of him and Stanley Tucci having a martini shaken, not stirred. And he thought that was a big hint that he's the new James Bond. No, they're both in this show, which rips off James Bond. Stanley Tucci is playing the MQ character, and Madden is playing the Bond born, In fact, it's so obvious that they're doing this stuff that at one point, one of the Madden character's wives, makes a joke about Bourne right to his face. It's kind of like, see, you notice? And the other thing is that all the people involved, it's like the last season of Game of Thrones. That the people who made the last season of Game of Thrones were just throwing stuff out. They were just throwing stuff at the wall. That's all they were doing. They didn't have any sense of what would work and would not work. That's what's happening here. So rather than say, well, how can we explain this? Well, we can't explain this, so just let's leave it unexplained. Let's just continue to frustrate. They did the same thing in The Lord of the Rings. Let's just continue to frustrate the viewer because we don't know how to do a story. We're going to do, friends of mine would, the late, great Chris Brown, who's my dear cartoonist friend who did the Hager the Horrible comic strip. He would always go, Rick, I have this great idea. And then he would give me his great idea. And I'm saying, Chris, that's not an idea. That's an I or a D. That's neither. That you have to connect them up for them to become an idea. You're coming up with part of an idea. That's what these guys are doing. Just throw stuff at the walls, because you like spies and because we put all this obvious homages, ripoffs to James Bond, Mission Impossible, and Bourne, and other things that you'll be satisfied.
That's unfortunate. So what you're saying, Rick, is that because of the track record right now, we should probably be smart and not be too excited for Amazon Prime's RoboCop and Stargate properties that are going to be coming out soon.
Well, at least those are established.
Okay.
So hopefully they'll get someone who loves them and will do them the proper justice.
Hopefully, yeah.
Here, it's clear these people are talking down to us. Just don't talk. I mean, we should all get in touch. I should get in touch with my usual Amazon Prime robot and say, guys, find people who love what they do and let them do it. Don't just don't throw money at it. In fact, let's do a couple of cheap movies that are done by people. Give people a chance to do stuff that they love.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
And stop trying to cater to us, your audience.
Right.
Just put out good stuff.
I agree. Let's keep it spy here. We have The Night Agent.
Netflix.
All right.
Now, Netflix, again, it's pretty much that, Amazon heard that Netflix was doing Ghosted and Night Agent, both of which is now Samurai Warriors. Come on, I don't denigrate. I like new actors, and if they get it, and also there's been a couple of other RoboCops, but in any case, Peter Weller was the best. Anyway, so far, but I'm leaving. I'm leaving my mind.
Yeah, love Peter Weller, but
Night Agent is okay. It's a better version of Citadel. It doesn't kowtow. It works on a decent idea. It works as a season, but it is the rudimentary. Let's see. It's that's why Sean Ryan did it. Sean Ryan was the creator of The Shield, and he always puts his money where his mouth is. He always puts his heart on his sleeve.
Nice.
He's always trying to do the best he can. So he put together a good spy series.
All right.
And Matthew Milea did the action and did a credible job. But of course, they're not doing extraordinary action. They're not doing Tom Cruise stuff. You're not going to see any Henry Cavill Popeye punches in the bathroom. But it's a good, solid spy thriller. It's far preferable to Citadel or even Ghosted.
Nice. All right. Is there going to be a season 2, or it's too early to tell?
It looks good. It looks good.
Okay.
But
All right.
I'm not the amazing Kreskin.
Well, I enjoyed the show Vikings. I loved that show. And so when that show, before that show ended, another show started during its run. And I got into that show, and I enjoyed the first 2 seasons. But for some reason, I still can't remember why I never got back into it when it came back on.
Mhm.
So I unfortunately can't jump in and watch this movie here. I would have to catch up and rewatch everything all over again. But I don't remember anything. I don't remember hating anything of why I didn't continue. But I was enjoying this series, The Last Kingdom, while I was watching it. So is this like a final finale film?
Yeah, this is the finale film.
Nice.
This wraps it all up. And I can explain why give you a decent reason why you didn't watch it, because it's something I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, which is we have so many good things to watch.
It's true.
We have so much to watch. So if it doesn't hold your attention, because literally we'll be watching The Last Kingdom, then you go, ooh, look over there. And
Yeah.
there's something else you want to see.
Yeah.
And so you don't miss it. So they gave it its finale.
Okay.
If you liked The Last Kingdom, if you liked Vikings, even if you liked the first 5 seasons of Game of Thrones, you're in good shape.
Nice.
Here's what it is. They unfortunately had to cut characters out because they had a limited amount of time. They didn't have the freedom of multiple episodes. They had a 2-hour movie, and that was it. So
Yeah.
there were some characters that I missed, but they concentrated very well on the main guy, and it's the kind of, I mean, the sword play is far better than Peter Pan and Wendy.
Nice. Well, I hope so.
It's Viking sword play. So I'm not looking for finesse.
Right.
And
Right.
it's a great budget. There are armies fighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, KL. Oh yeah, absolutely right about Luther too. So if I could recommend it to you, Fat KL.
Nice.
I can recommend it to you too. It's very satisfying if you're in the mood. If you're not in the mood, what are you watching it for?
Right. All right. Well, that's good to know. And there's not a series of movies coming. It's just, this is it.
Unless this does spectacularly well, which and it's Netflix and there's hard to tell, I doubt it. And also it finishes the story. It's a good ending.
Nice.
So don't ruin it.
All right. Copy that. I'll have to definitely check it
Or
out.
do ruin it. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not the boss of you.
All right. Next up, we have Marco Zaror's Fist of the Condor, a Haya original. Rick, thoughts on Marco trying to take something similar but make it feel different in his own way?
Well, we have entered into the third portion of our show.
Okay.
We've had fan service. We've had the spy universe. And now we have the martial artists of the world attempting to find a way to survive when an entire country that created Kung Fu doesn't want them to do Kung Fu movies. So everybody has to adapt. I might add, by the way, that I just found out today on Netflix that there's a new movie by the guy who did Lost Bullet 1 and 2.
What?
It's called AKA.
Oh.
It just showed up.
Woo!
And he's playing a new character.
Okay.
And that's the French style.
Okay.
Now we get on to Fist of Condor, which is Marco.
Chile.
Ecuador, I think.
Yeah.
And of course, I met Marco years ago. Marco was a guest at the Kung Fu Extravaganza for his first 2 films. And we had a wonderful, so I'm always on his side. But at the same time, I know Marco as personally.
Okay.
It's kind of like in all of his movies, this is Marco in person. I'm going to do my impersonation of Marco in person. Hey,
Okay.
how you doing? Great to see you. You're great. Oh yeah, I love this. I love that. Oh yeah. Oh, this is terrific drink. Oh, this is terrific food. This is Marco in his movies. His
There you go.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He's playing when he gets on screen, he becomes that.
Right.
And it's like, and I've told him in the first two, I haven't talked to him since seeing Fist of Condor, but it's the same thing. He's not a zombie.
Uh-huh.
What's the phrase for him? I mean, in other words, he's
Stoic.
stoic.
Yeah.
He's a rock, not the rock. He's a rock.
Yeah.
And it's like going, I really think this would be better. Everything would be better if it had some of your personality in it. So your sense of humor, your wit, but as you can vouch, this is a very serious movie.
Yeah.
I mean, could you call this movie fun?
Well, I had fun with it, but I like different. I like
Yeah.
I'm different, but yeah.
It is a badass movie. There's no question. This is a very badass movie. And as such, if you like supreme badassery supreme,
Yes.
you will do just fine. And Marco's the real deal. So he's always worth seeing. And again, 90 minutes. And look, you can see just by these pictures, very well made, filmed on location. He's working with his longtime collaborator, the guy who directed most of his stuff.
Yes.
And they are simpatico.
Yeah. Ernesto, yeah.
But Ernesto has a great personality too. So I'm going, if Marco is our guest at the extravaganza this year,
hopefully, yeah,
I'm going to and hopefully Ernesto will come with him.
Yeah,
I'm going to do. Remember what we did? They'll be able to tell me what year they were there originally because it was a long time ago.
Right.
I'll say, come on, guys, let's go. Let's make a movie with both your personalities in it. Let's surprise everybody and just do something. You could become the next not Jackie Chan. We're about to do Jackie Chan, but you could do what Jackie Chan did, which is listen to Bruce Lee. Listen to Bruce Lee, Marco. Learn everything you can from everyone you can, then make it your own. And you have made it your own, but that's not you, Marco. That's not you. Make it your own. Make it you.
Yeah.
Then I'll be going, yeah, baby. Believe me, there's nothing more frightening than what's more. Let me put it this way: what's more frightening. Put one of those pictures of Marco back up. There's one thing that's more frightening than Marco looking at you like that.
Yeah.
That's Marco looking at you like that and smiling.
It might be time to run. Time to go, man.
Fucking exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, well worth seeing. And of course, also on Haya right now, speaking of fun, the Mystic Nine and Legend of the Demon Cat.
How were these two?
They're insane.
Oh, fun.
But what's amazing about them is that one is the Mystic Nine is another one of those direct to streaming things that was very expensive, like 80 minutes long and crazed. And Legend of the Demon Cat is done by Chen Kage. A Chen Kage film. He's made some of the most cerebral martial art wushu movies, and Legend of the Demon Cat puts on. And all my friends who were involved with the adventure of fighting the Chinese Film Bureau to make more kung fu movies is going, I thought they didn't let you do demon cats anymore because the Chinese Film Bureau said you can't do anything supernatural anymore.
Oh my goodness!
And I found out that this was made a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So definitely, guys, this may be your last chance to see a Chinese supernatural movie with an actual demon cat in it. So take a look at this thing. And again, beautifully made. Chen Kage is a film artist.
Nice.
So the
Nice.
two of those together, I watched them in a row, and I was just like, talk about yin yang. I mean,
Yeah.
they're both crazed in their own way, and both sumptuous. And they don't make movies like that. No, well, China makes it like that all the time.
Right. Right. Well, they sound like fun.
Oh,
For
they
sure.
are. They're very fun, especially you see them one after the other.
Well, speaking of fun, how was Right On, Rick?
Again, this is the next couple of films we're going to be talking about here. The next two
Okay.
are Jackie Chan and Donnie Yen. They are both trying to find out how they can survive in a country that doesn't want kung fu films.
It's frustrating.
It is, but these guys are the foundation.
Yes,
I mean,
right. Yeah.
it's Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Donnie Yen, Jet Li. And those guys have all found their own way to do their thing. I found it fascinating that when Michelle Yeoh, after winning her Oscar, went back to Hong Kong and had a huge dinner with Donnie Yen in attendance, Yuen Wu Ping in attendance, Anthony Wong in attendance, Chow Yun Fat in attendance.
Wow.
Guess who was missing?
Jackie.
Jackie.
Wow.
Because Jackie's not welcome in Hong Kong anymore. But Jackie is finding his way. And of course, on the last episode, we talked about that wonderful fan service short subject.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
With Jackie in it. And that's how Jackie is finding his balance. He is letting his fans come pay homage to him. And Ride On is written and directed by Larry Yang, who's a huge Jackie Chan fan. And he sent a script to Jackie, unbidden, and Jackie said, "No, I don't want to do this, but if you do this and this and this and this, then I'll do it." And so
Yeah.
Larry, he gave Larry, I think, like 2 months to do it, and Larry did it in like 10 days. He just was so
Wow.
excited. And then Jackie said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And it reminds me, the last time I seriously had, really deep conversations with Jackie was
Yeah.
back in 2001 when I was in Hong Kong and working on what became the Medallion. I was very happy to get out of that before that crashed and burned. But one of the things we talked about very seriously is during that era, I also got to see the movies that he was putting out. And I think it was New Police Story or whatever. I think it was one of the police stories.
Okay.
And Jackie took every opportunity. Jackie wanted to be seen by his fandom, by his audience, as a great actor. He wanted to prove he was a great actor. So in this movie, he cried every possible chance he got. Because he assumed that if you cry, that means you're a good actor. If you can cry on cue, well, Jackie was crying in that movie at the drop of a snot, at the drop of a hat. He cried every chance he got in that movie. If you go back and watch, he's like, and I sent him a link. The Clint Eastwood boxer movie with again, I'm blanking. I'm an old man.
It's okay.
It's the one, the Oscar winner. She won the Oscar for the second year in a row because she was in it. Clint Eastwood played her boxing manager.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Do you remember what it's called?
I'm getting old too.
Oh, there we go. Guys,
there you go. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, I knew it just before I got here, and I should have written it down here, but I didn't write it down. But in any case, I sent him a copy of Million Dollar Baby.
There you go. Thank you, guys.
I was going to say Millionaire's Express.
It's a
$1 Million Baby. That's right.
Thank you, guys.
I sent him a link to $1 Million Baby, and I said, "Watch Clint Eastwood. That's how you cry in a movie."
Right.
Because if you remember that movie, he almost cries, almost cries, almost cries. It's not until the very end where he just lets go, and that's where I let go. It was just awesome. So what happens here is Jackie always has his heart on his sleeve, always.
Yeah.
Now, in fact, he has all his internal organs on his sleeve. He has his pancreas, he has his spleen, he has his gallbladder.
Yeah.
He just lets it all out. So Ride On is an homage to his past, but also an homage to the kind of movie he wants to make, which
Nice.
is heart on his sleeve, family drama.
Okay.
And as such, it works well. I'm always happy when I see Jackie in his movies acting his age,
Yeah.
letting the gray in his hair. My feeling is let it go. But then again, I'm Kung Fu Santa, so I keep telling myself every morning, go white, go white, go white. I don't want any dark
Yeah.
hair at all.
Yeah.
But it's still worth saying if you're expecting it to be a return to form,
No.
as people will say,
No.
no, it's going to be Jackie finding a happy balance between his masters in China and his fans who he has built up over since 1975 or 6.
Yeah.
And as such, this is a good compromise.
All
It
right.
is sweet, and I'm going, keep up,
Yay.
buddy, keep improving.
Nice. I am looking forward to seeing it, Rick. And for everybody watching, here's a little fun little throwback photo with Rick and Jackie. Oh shit! Look at that. Look at those legends.
The first time I met him in
That is
1978.
amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
and
Yep. I'm loving the shirt, by the way, Rick.
well, that both the shirt and the pants were made in Hong Kong the night before. I went to a one of those famous tailors they had in Hong
Yeah.
Kong at that
Yeah.
time, and they would do it. They advertised doing it in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And so I went.
Wow.
I
Wow.
just said, boom. And of course, the reason I had all robots is that I got the cheapest material. And the Dayglow pants. The Dayglow pants.
Yeah. This is still my favorite picture though, Rick. Boom.
Oh, yeah, that was on the set of Miracle, or and can you recognize all the stuntmen?
Oh yeah, I see him. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ken Lo and Mars is in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And
I guess
again,
Chin Carlock there. He's somewhere. I thought I
oh,
seen
it
him.
could be.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
they're all much younger then, and also and they loved it when I told them. I said, because I had a couple of other pictures with the stuntmen by themselves, and then when that picture was going to be taken, I said, everybody hit me.
Yeah.
I deserve it. And
Some
also,
of-
I tell you the story when I first met Jackie. The reason he was so nice to me and had his arm around my shoulder, which I was told later was very rare,
Oh really?
especially for Guaylo. And the reason my sleeves are rolled up is that it was 90 degrees outside with 90% humidity. So I had a sweatshirt on underneath those clothing. I came into his office and he was having an argument with his producer. And he took a look at me, and it was just perfect timing. I don't know why. And he said, "You come here," because they were having an argument about who should direct Jackie in America. And suddenly an American shows up in the doorway.
Right.
And so, well, thank you, KL. By the way, they're doing a documentary on me now, and they asked me to write my memoir, which is tentatively titled "Learning to Live." But in any case, when that happens, I'll let you guys all know. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'll send you free copies. But whatever. So I get to the office. He points at me and goes, "Come here," and he puts his arm around my shoulder again, points at his producer, and says, "Who should direct me in America?" And without pausing, I just told him the truth because, again, after all, he didn't know this yet, but I'm the anvil. I said, "You're the only one who should be directing you." And he turns to his producer friend and goes, "See?" And from then on, we were friends.
That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
Well, we got to check out Right On, guys. So keep an eye out from that from Well-Go. But now
Well-Go will have it very
soon. And speaking of Well-Go, SAKRA. Yeah.
All right. Now, this is Donnie. You see what Donnie has been doing. If you've seen Rogue One, if you've seen Mulan, if you've seen John Wick 4, there was a period of time where Donnie was persona non grata on American film sets because he behaved in a egocentric way. But now he is finding his balance and his peace. He is doing what Jet Li did. He's finding his balance. He's doing his kung fu. And Donnie is willing to stop doing copies of Bruce. Donnie seems to be willing to find out who Donnie is.
All right.
And this is how he's doing it. Although he's still copying, of course, in Rogue One and in John Wick, he was doing Zatoichi. And Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman, is a huge influence for Hong Kong cinema. And here he's doing his wuxia. He started by doing his wuxia specifically with Dragon Tiger Gate, where it was a comic adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not manga, it's manhwa. This was his manhwa movie. So this is his wuxia movie. Dragon Tiger Gate was manhwa. This is wuxia. Wuxia is the floating swordsman.
Right.
But this also has somebody behind the scenes who should not and cannot, for me in any case, be ignored, and that's Kenji Tanigaki.
Yes.
This is the partnership of Kenji and Donnie as fight coordinators.
Oh man.
Fight designers.
Yeah.
And as such, but then if you're expecting Donnie of the past or Kenji of the past, you may be a little disappointed. Don't expect that.
Okay.
This is wuxia.
Right.
It's based on Demigods and Semi-Devils by Jin Yong, where there have been, I would say, dozens, at least a half a dozen adaptations of that convoluted wuxia novel by Jin Yong. This is their shot at it.
Okay.
If you do the research, especially if you go and look on the various channels to find other wuxia movies based on Demigods and Semi-Devils, yeah, you'll be ready. And as such, you can appreciate it the way it should be appreciated, and then make an educated judgment.
Okay. Hold on one second, Rick. I missed this earlier. Thank you, Nate Dogs. Shout out to Nate Dogs for the super chat. That's right. Fucking Ruckus has been starting. Yes. Well, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. Okay, go ahead, Rick.
Well, no, I'm good with SAKRA. I'm saying everybody should see it, make their own decisions. Do not go into it expecting something. Go into it with your mind open. What do I say in my Kung Fu lessons? Open hand, open heart, open mind.
Well, from that trailer, some of that sword play was looked really good.
Put the poster up. You notice his hands?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Do you see fists?
Nope.
Open hand.
Oh man, awesome. Really quick before we end it with the last one, we had some questions here for you, Rick, about people are asking in the chat, is Jet Li retired?
Essentially.
Okay.
Well, listen, you saw him in Mulan, the live action Mulan. After that, why do anything? I mean, basically, he just did that for the American money that he could put into his charity. He's far more interested in doing charitable work. And again, if you see him at these premieres, if you see him, he was just at a premiere. Again, all these rumors that people would say that he's sick, he's fine. He's a Kung Fu master.
Yeah.
I am willing. Jet Li is one of the few people I will say in private and in public to his face, master. He will say, no, I'm not a master. I'm a student. I'm saying, I understand that, but you're a master for me. Because Jet Li has always said things that I take with me and becomes my rule of thumb. I mean, he told me not many decades ago, but several decades ago, he said to me, Kung Fu students' only opponent is themselves. And everything he's ever said to me, I just go, yeah, no arguing with you, man. You are the master.
Yep. Yes, he is. All right. Well, it was good to hear that he's doing well.
He's doing great.
He's a legend. All right, the last one here. You have not seen this one yet, Rick. And I will not go into detail. This will be really brief because our spoiler review with me and Lady Fat is coming up very soon. So I'm not going to get into too much here, but I'll be brief.
Let me interrupt.
Go ahead.
I have seen it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Okay, well, never mind. I will keep my mouth shut.
Say what you think, because I'll tell you.
Actually, I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question, but let me hear what you have to say first. And then I love the movie. I was willing to suspend my disbelief to enjoy it. Something about,
Why
something
would
about
you
the
not?
movie felt like they don't really make movies like this anymore. So I love the cinematography. I love the movie, but
Why?
I have I might as well just ask you now and then you can go into it.
Yeah.
So I was having too much fun with friends when I
Yep.
saw it Friday. So when we did our quick out of the theater thoughts and reactions, I was mostly gushing. And I had one nitpick, and the only nitpick I mentioned was I kind of wanted him to kill more Nazis, but there was enough Nazis killed to where you'll be satisfied. But I wanted more because Samurai Guy's greedy. But Rick, help me out here. This is the other nitpick, guys. For Sisu, I loved it, but my other nitpick was what happened with the last two in fights. The fight on the tank, you couldn't see anything. You could barely see what was going on. And the fight, no spoilers, the fight inside the airplane,
Yep.
you couldn't see. Like, what happened? I was like, I don't know. Maybe they ran out of time. I don't know. Help me out here, Rick.
That said, again, I'm not Kreskin. I
Okay.
wasn't upset, but I
Okay.
noticed that immediately.
Yeah. That
And I
was a
said,
little,
again, what I said earlier about being a mystery reader and a
yeah.
mystery solver,
Yeah.
that's my latest mystery I want solved. I'm going
Okay.
to do research, and maybe next month I'll have some information.
Yes, please. Thank you.
But my guess is usually when something like that happens, because let me make it clear to everybody, this is an incredibly awesome, fun movie.
Yes, he loved it. I wasn't sure if Rick was gonna like it.
Well, here's the deal. I mean,
Okay.
when I was growing up, I would read mysteries and science fiction novels every day. I would at my height, I was doing 5 a week, and I read every single one that came out. And of course, in mysteries, there's Ellery Queen, there's Perry Mason, there's Agatha Christie, there's these top guys, but then there's all these little pot boilers, all these guys who are not famous now, but I loved it. I mean, Edward S. Aarons was one of my favorite spy writers. He did a series of paperback novels, Assignment colon something, and he did like dozens and dozens of them. And these were really like pot boilers. These were enormously fun to read. And when I was watching this movie, I was going, this is one of those novels. This is one of those thriller novels written by a guy who loves to do thriller novels. And also, this is a guy who does balance, who the filmmaker, Ola Kiti, um, he he is a balanced person. He had to he had to figure out, in other words, he had to figure out whether he had to serve you or serve everybody else. In other words, this is a movie for action lovers to enjoy, and he wanted to make sure he didn't push it too far because again, one of the reasons I love this movie is I cared so much for this guy.
Yeah.
I cared about him, and I didn't want him to become a video game character. And I thought that Ula handled it correctly. He stopped it just before, maybe a hair's breadth before he became a video game character. He was still throughout believable as a human being. And also, remember, there's 5 different movies and a bunch of books that are called Sisu. You know what Sisu means?
Yes. They explained it in the movie.
Stoic determination.
Yes.
That's what this guy did. And also he loved innocent women. He loved his dog. He
Yeah.
hated Nazis.
And his horse.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. We live in a world where there's a lot of conflict. So it's nice to go see a movie where the heroes are clear and the villains are clear.
Mm.
And for the
Yeah.
most part, unless you are a Nazi, you're very happy to see Nazis slaughtered. And here, and going back to Farm Film Report on SCTV, they got killed real good. They got blowed up real good. And man, I felt it. It just was like, I'm looking forward to seeing it another time. And I'm also looking forward to seeing, my guess is usually when a movie made by responsible people falls at the end
Yeah.
because of money, it's because of time.
Okay. That's
And
what
the
I'm thinking.
And also, and the director, because the rest of the movie was so good, And it was
Yeah.
so satisfying that even those last two things, yeah, we would love to have seen it. And
Right.
hopefully someday, if they get more money, they'll light it up in the lab or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe he just sort of said, we just don't have the time to choreograph these as well as the previous stuff. So
That's what I'm thinking.
it's going to have to do it in the market.
Yeah. But it didn't ruin the movie for me.
Did it ruin the movie for
yeah.
me?
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm so happy. That makes me happy that Rick, because sometimes I don't know with Rick. Sometimes it's like, oh man, Rick didn't like that one. Okay, we'll move on.
Nothing I like about it. Well, because as I said, it's not just badassery. This isn't just badassery.
Right.
I cared for this guy. And at
Right.
no
Right.
time in this movie was he trying to prove that he was a badass.
Right. Right.
He was just like,
Yeah.
I do not want you people to make me do this, but if you make me do this, I will put a fucking knife through your fucking head.
That's right.
So that's the difference. Oftentimes, the way we split up is when you've seen a movie where everybody's being a badass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like going, that bores me.
Yeah. But it's still fun sometimes.
Well,
Really quick, Rick,
fun.
we got one. We got
Yes.
a question here. Thank you, Kevin, for the super chat. He says, Rick, quick question. What's your thoughts on the new MonsterVerse film, Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire? Also, I want that shirt from the Jackie Pick.
Well, of course, I want that shirt from the Jackie Pick too. I don't
Yeah.
have it any longer. I think it melted off my body. I stayed in Hong Kong for like 3 months, three
Yeah.
weeks after that, and it was 90 degrees and 90% humidity plus every day.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, well, again, I will reiterate what I said earlier, which is I'm not Kreskin.
Okay.
So I call that a science fiction question. You're asking me to predict the future. I've seen Kong and Godzilla movies that I've liked. I have seen Kong and Godzilla movies that I have not liked. So it's not a sure thing. And I don't know who's making it. I've been seeing the Shin stuff lately.
Right.
Shin, Ultraman,
Right.
Kamen Rider,
hmm
in a Godzilla. And I appreciate those for the thought that goes into them.
Right.
Well, I am hoping, I always hope,
hmm
it's not the despair I can handle. I mean, it's the hope. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's good. And if it's good, I'll be happy. And if it's not good, I won't.
There you go. There we go.
So-
So yeah, hopefully it is good. And before we do the quick roundabout for you badasses just showing up, really quick, Rick, when you said about Marco earlier reminded me of a few things. How you want to see him smile more and emote more. Check out movies Mirage Man, which is kind of a comedy,
Yep. We showed clips from that.
and Mandrill. He's a spy in that.
Yep.
But I remembered when you said smile, run away. Well, he smiled a lot in Undisputed 3 when he went up against Scott Adkins in that, and he got voted for best villain for that movie. So there you go, Rick. So hopefully we get some more smiling.
Let's do some more of that, buddy.
Yeah, some more of him talking about his chocolate. I love Undisputed 3. But yeah, all right, guys, we're gonna do the quick rundown again for you badasses just showing up. If you missed it, go back and watch the whole episode. It's awesome. But if you can't, we're gonna do the quick roll call. Rick's gonna be doing his thumbs, the master thumb work. Here we go. Super Mario Brothers. Go for it. Okay. All right. Next up, we got Power Rangers Once and Always. Okay. All right. Star Trek Picard Season 3. All right. Thumb up for that. Mandalorian Season 3. Okay. Peter Pan.
Hold on. Let me do what Groku would do.
Okay.
Yes, 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 yes.
All right. Peter Pan and Wendy. Okay. A little bit to the side.
More middle.
Middle. Okay. Middle. Okay. Ghosted. There you go. Citadel. The Night Agent. Okay. All right. Seven Kings Must Die film. All right. Thumbs up for that. Fist of the Condor. Okay. All right.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Go back. Fist of, hold on, let me do Fist of Condor. First,
Okay.
let me do it Marco style.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
And let me do Rick style.
There you go. We'll do these together. Mystic 9 and Legend of the Demon Cat.
Can't do thumbs anywhere for that. It's like,
okay. Right on, Jackie Chan. All right. Okay. SAKRA. All right. And of course, Sisu.
boom.
Yeah. Love it. I love
Let
it.
me put a knife through my head. Hold on.
No, don't do that. Hey guys, this was Blast. Thanks again for joining us, Rick. Always an honor to have you here. Oh, wait, before we end it here, hey, y'all know about the books. That's right. Check the link in the description box below to go check out Rick's books. That's right. Buy them, read them, love them. That's right. So you know what you need to do.
Get the book! Get the book! Get the book!
We're going to have a new one about Superman soon.
Oh, cool. We have to update it.
Voices from Krypton.
Oh, nice.
I'm just quoted about the original. I was on the set of the original Christopher Reeve Superman for 3 weeks. So I talk about that. That's what's in the, yeah.
All right, cool. We're going to have to update the video. But thanks again, all you movie-loving badasses for watching. That's right. Keep kung fu-ing, right? Keep watching great movies.
Smart asses.
That's right. Keep enjoying being an action movie fans like us. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.